Hello everyone, I'm Allison. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be discussing all the must-have items for your kids to travel to Disney World. And a lot of these items you will find yourself using everywhere you go, just because it just makes your life so much more convenient. We're not going to be discussing stroller items, like items specifically for the stroller in this video. That's actually going to be the next video that I put out, is going to be dedicated just to strollers. So make sure you subscribe so that you get notified when that video comes out, because you're going to want to see it if you are a parent that uses a stroller. So let's get into it. Okay, so I first want to talk about items that will be great for traveling to Disney World, whether that's in a car, on a plane, on a train, however you are getting to Disney World. These items are really meant to just keep your kids occupied while you are traveling. So you're going to want to have, most of these items are going to want to be mess free. So really anything that they can have that's not going to get everywhere, coloring on, the seats or the airplane tray, whatever it is. So we have these little wet water coloring, painting, little activity books. My son is obsessed with cars and trucks and construction vehicles. So we found one that has those types, just like little cars. And they come with a little paintbrush that you fill it up with water and it paints on the paper, but you just paint right on it and the colors show up right on here. And then it just dries and you can reuse it, which is really great. So my daughter loves minis, so she has a mini one. We have cars, we have a bunch of them. So another item that we like to bring everywhere we go are these little LED tablets. This one has a little pen that is hooked on, which is really great to have because these little pens can get lost everywhere, especially if you are in the car or wherever they're gonna drop, and then there's gonna be some upset and nobody wants that. But these you can color right on them, and then you just push the button down here and it starts over, a clean slate. So these are the types of items that are really great for traveling. Things that are reusable, things that don't make a mess. We always bring stickers with us. This is literally just a bag full of stickers that we have these like little notebooks that my kids have. They're just plain paper, so they can color, put stickers on, whatever they want to do just to keep them occupied. And then we also have these little mess-free crafts that are so stinking cute. They are so adorable. This one is, they come with these little boards, and then they come with these little stickers. These are like foamy stickers, and they can just decorate the pictures with little crafts. This is just one of them, but they come in all different colors, and they can just do whatever they want on here with sticking the stickers on. And in that same sense, we also like to carry these sticker books. These are Usborne sticker books. This is my son's. These ones, just like, you can stick the stickers anywhere on the page. But they also have ones where, if you want to be a little bit more advanced, they have the ones where like the sticker by number, or the little dresses that go on the pictures. My daughter likes those ones too. But any type of things like that. We even have this like bluey seek and find book. So this doesn't have anything, no crayons, no stickers. It's literally just, you have to find the little pictures in the book, which is really cute. So those types of things are definitely good for traveling, and then also to have with you in the resort. It gives the kids something to do while you're getting ready for the day, or you're coming back to the resort and you're relaxing, getting ready for bed, or you're having a resort day. Those types of items are really good to have. So getting into other items that are good to have at the resort, it's up to you whether you want to have these types of items on in your transportation, because they can be either a little bit messy or the pieces can get lost. But we found this little stencil kit at Target. It is really cute. It comes with its own pad of paper, and then it has all these little stencils, and it comes with markers. So obviously, if you have a younger kiddo that is going to color on everything with the markers, I would not suggest something like this, but this is really good for my 8-year-old, or, you know, once your kids, you know your kids best, so once they are past that stage where you feel comfortable giving them markers in a place that's not your home, things like this would be great to have. I love that these things come in like a little case and it's all there and they can easily put it back away. I also like to bring, this is the brand and Wild and Friedman. It's a company that they do Play-Dohs and sands and even slime, and you can get these little travel tubes where the bottom half has the dough and then the top half has these little like characters in them and things that can go in with the dough. And these are so great to have, so easy to travel with. They have all different types. My son has a dinosaur one. This was like a little Christmassy one. They have so many different ones. They also have bigger cases of different types, but these ones are super great for traveling. They even make little smaller ones, but these I find are really good because they come with a lot of different pieces that they can play with together. I also like to bring with us some kind of mystery item where you see a lot of those things now where it's like a mystery doll or you don't know what you're gonna get. These are the Doorable ones, and they come with these little balls, and inside the balls are just like these tiny little, they're like little squishy little characters. So these are really great to have to bring with you because it's a mystery item, it's new, it's something that they haven't seen yet, and you give it to them either, you know, if you're comfortable giving them these on the plane or in the car and you're not worried that they're always going to be falling on the ground, you know, that would be a fun little item to say, okay, we're on the plane now, here's your mystery thing, like let's see what it is. And this will definitely keep their attention for a long amount of time. And that's the other thing with these items, you know, even with like the sticker books and the watercolor ones, you know, like if you can, try to get new ones every time that you are traveling, because with kids, you know, sometimes things can get tired and it's not going to keep their interest. They've seen it before, but if it's new and they haven't seen it before, it tends to keep their attention a little bit longer. So I always try to get new items. And don't forget, you're going to need some of those items for the trip back home. So if you're gonna get sticker books, get 2 sticker books, one for the way there and keep the other one in your suitcase, and then you can give it to them for the trip back. So again, you have a new item to give them, and they might finish that book, you know, whether it's on the plane there or in the resort, they might finish those ones that they have. So then you have something new to give them on the way back. So while we're on the subject of having things in the resort, I'm just gonna go through a couple of things that will make your life a little bit easier when you are in your resort. So the first thing is I highly suggest bringing one of these fold up bins. You just open it up, you pop the little bottom down, and it becomes like a nice bin. These are really great to have in the resort so your kids can put all their toys in here that they're gonna be playing with. You know, if you get bubble wands in the park, it's a good place to keep them. You know, just, I don't know about you, but it drives me crazy having things just all over the room. You know, you're in a small hotel room, you know, with yourself and your kids, and it can get a little chaotic with with a lot of clutter. So it's just a good way to keep some of that clutter contained. Or even if you wanted to put some food items, if you do a grocery delivery, you can put some food items in there. Anything that you just want to get up off the floor or off the counters, you know, just to kind of keep it put away. It's a really good idea to have that. Another good thing to have is a sound machine. If you don't normally use a sound machine, I highly, highly suggest traveling with one, whether it's to Disney, whether it's anywhere else. It really makes it a lot easier for you to sleep, you know, because some hotel rooms can be noisy with your neighbors or the pool, people walking down the hallway, slamming doors. It just, after a long, tired day at Disney, it's really nice to have a sound machine. My whole family sleeps with sound machines every night, so we would be completely lost if we did not bring our sound machine with us. On that same note, if you normally sleep with a humidifier going, especially in the winter months, or if someone has a cold, I highly, highly suggest bringing a travel humidifier. Now, our humidifier is Olaf, so you definitely don't need to get Olaf. We actually found him in an Ollie's discount store, so I don't even know if they make these anymore or if you can find them on Amazon. I'm not sure. I'm going to look on Amazon for you to see if I can link it down below, but they do also sell just mini humidifiers, just like plain ones, but this kind, the bottle, like a water bottle, attaches to it, and the other kind you just kind of fill it up. So it's the same idea, but so I will try to find something similar to this, and I'll also link the regular like plain ones that they have. So those are just two items that will help make you feel a little bit more at home, help your kids maybe to sleep easier, which everybody needs to do, especially when you're at Disney World, but it's really good idea to have it anytime that you're traveling. So if you have kids that are of diapering age, it's a really good idea to have these disposable diaper garbage bags. This one I bring with us everywhere. It can clip onto my bag. I can stick it in my bag. I clip it onto my stroller sometimes, because these bags are actually really good to use, not just for diapers. If you are walking the parks and you have a plate, you know, a paper plate of food, and you know the garbage can, you can see the garbage can, but you know you don't really feel like walking around holding a dirty plate or dirty napkins, you can stick them in the bag, put everything in there, and then when you get to the garbage can, you just throw it away. Or if you're in the resort and you do have a kid that wears diapers, these contain the smell so well. All you do is you just stick the diaper in there, tie it up, put it in the regular trash bin, and it doesn't smell at all. It really contains the smell. So this is one of the best items that I've ever bought when my kids were diapering. My son we're starting the potty training thing, so we're going to be out of that stage, but I'm still going to take this with us. Like I said, just as having a trash bag on you, or even in the car or wherever you are, is really nice to have just a little trash bag that you can contain items and then to throw away later. So another item that I like to have in the resort, so this is for if you have kids that are in a crib at home, or like my son when we traveled, he was out of his crib, but he sleeps in like a floor bed with one of those like gates around it. So he's used to, you know, pushing up against the sides and the front, you know, there's no way for him to fall off. So if I had just stuck him on the hotel bed, he would have rolled off in a second. So I brought with us these blow up bumpers. So this is a bed bumper, and what you do is you blow this part up. It's actually very easy to blow up, and this part goes underneath the sheet to keep it steady, and so that they're on top of this, so this isn't going to fall off. They're laying on top of it, and it prevents them from rolling off. So as an extra precaution, I actually used this, and then I also asked for bed rails from the resort, and I put the bed rail up against this just to give it some extra support. But I'm so glad that I brought this because it worked out so well. And if the resort was out of bumpers or out of the bed rails, we had something else to use. The pack does come with 2 of these. But the way that we slept was we had a parent and a child in each bed, so we didn't really need the bumpers on both sides of the bed. But if you wanted to put your kids together in a bed, or your kid, whatever, you could use both of them on both sides of the bed. So this was a really, really great item to have. It does take up some room in your suitcase, but if you have young children, you already know that young children require a lot of gear. So, you might need to have a bigger suitcase or whatever it is, but I highly, highly suggest bringing something like that. I also brought my own fitted sheet with me to give the bumper a little bit more protection from being able to fall off. I'm not exactly sure if that was completely necessary because they do such a good job of staying on the bed. You might not need to do that. I'm probably not going to do that next time. But if you wanted to make sure to give it a little bit extra, to keep it on there, bringing a queen size fitted sheet, because if you haven't been to Disney before, Disney does not use fitted sheets on the bottom. It's just like a flat sheet that's folded under, so it can easily come out. So even if you just prefer having a fitted sheet, you might want to bring one with you. Okay, so moving into things that you'll need when you're at the parks. So obviously, if you're going, majority of the time, it's going to be hot, warm. You're going to want to make sure your kids are nice and cool. And we found that neck fans and also these fans were the best. We did bring cooling towels with us, and while my daughter liked having it, just to kind of cool down her face, we found that it wasn't really, it didn't work as well for us, just the hassle of trying to get it wet, keeping it somewhere when, we weren't using it. We just really preferred having the fans. This is a kid's neck fan. It's very flexible. So if you had a kid with, a smaller kid, you could kind of push it together like that, or, and they're not going to break it. So this one was really great to have. My daughter loved it. And then this one wound up being our absolute favorite. It's for its size. It's so thin, so lightweight, but this thing was so powerful, and it was really nice to just kind of be able to put it where you needed it. The neck fan, obviously it's on your neck and it's blowing at your face, but with this you could kind of put it above, or even under your shirt if you wanted to, just to kind of give yourself a little bit of a nice cool down. And the other great thing about these is that they have a little ring on the back. So we actually connected this to our stroller, and my son, who was sitting in the stroller, was able to use it, and we didn't have to worry about it being dropped or anything like that. So, but again, this one is really great to have if you have your little crossbody bag, or, especially if you're using a stroller, but you have a crossbody bag on you, it's really easy to just stick that in there and carry it with you, whether you're waiting online or wherever you're going that you don't have your stroller with you. It's so lightweight to just easily be able to do that. So any parent knows that when you are traveling with your kids anywhere, whether it's to the park, to a restaurant, on a walk down the street, it's a good idea to have Band-Aids, things like that, it's one of those things where if you don't have it, you're more likely that your kid's gonna fall and get cut, and then you're going to need that. But just to have a little bag with you, I actually usually use a little pouch that I keep all of my first aid stuff in. But sometimes it might be good to have a little bit of a bigger one, because you might want to bring Tylenol with you, with a syringe, Band-Aids, anything that you normally would have in a first aid kit. It's really, really great, a good idea to bring with you to the park. That way you're not running to the first aid center or, trying to figure out what to do. You have everything on you that could be helpful in that type of situation, whether it's medical or first aid related, anything like that you would want to keep in here. You can keep moleskin for yourself, Band-Aids, any type of medicine for your family that you might need. So again, I'm just going to mention the diaper bags and then also this travel wipes container. This one is reusable. You just stick your wipes in here. It has a nice little strap. I hook this right onto my stroller. I actually have two of these. See, I no longer have like a big giant diaper bag because my son is now going through the potty training stage. So while I do have one or two diapers on me always, I don't use a giant diaper bag. So if you are still in that stage, you might want to have two of these. One in your diaper bag with all your diapers, and then another one kind of like hanging on your stroller or on your bag, because we know as parents, you're going to need wipes whether you're changing a diaper or not. Fingers get sticky, things spill, whatever it is, it's just so much easier to have a wet wipe, and then you can put them in the garbage bag and be on your way. Another item that I no longer use, but I used to bring with me all the time, whether it was to a restaurant or wherever we're going to be eating, are those disposable bibs. Just because even if you're not bringing a baby, even like a young toddler, you're gonna want to kind of cover their clothes, not only because is it a hassle to have to change them, but also if you're like me, you spent time figuring out what outfit you want your kids to wear. You might buy a specific outfit for them to wear a certain day, and then it's covered in Dole Whip or whatever it is. Like, you don't want that. Bring the disposable bibs, put them on when your kid's going to be eating something messy, just in case. So another great item to have with you are wet bags. So these can be used in many different ways. I also bring water shoes for my son, for any time that we're in like the splash pad area, or if it's raining or anything like that. My daughter usually wears her Crocs, so we don't have to worry about it as much. But with my son, who likes to wear sneakers, it's a lot easier to switch into these when he's going to be going into any wet areas, and then to have your wet bag and you just stick the wet shoes right in there. I do also like these kinds because they have a dry area and a wet area. So I tend to use these ones for like a change of clothes. I will put in the dry area because if you have a full change of clothes with you, and let's say your child's shorts get wet and you only need to change their shorts, then what are you going to do with the other dry clothes that you have? This way, your dry clothes stay in this pocket and the wet ones can go in here, and then you still have the rest of the clothes that you need contained, and you don't have to worry about where else you're going to put them. So these are a really good idea to have for like a change of clothes. I highly recommend everyone in your party or your family to bring at least an extra pair of socks. So, you can have those in the dry area, and then if you need to put something wet in there, you still have your dry clothes. And you can also use wet bags to put wet ponchos, or anything that gets wet can go in there. So now I'm going to show you my restaurant bag. So this thing comes with us everywhere. This is great, not just for restaurants, but for example, we homeschool, and my daughter goes to a homeschool class on Tuesdays for like 3 hours, and it's like 30 minutes from our house. So it's a little bit too far for my son and I to come back home. So what we do is we just go to like Dunkin' Donuts. I get a coffee, I bring some snacks for him, and then we have this bag with us for him to be able to just sit and play. If you find a place like that, or if you are at a restaurant or anywhere where you're going to be spending some time waiting around for something, like at a restaurant or wherever you are, it's always good to have some kind of bag that has and I leave these toys and stuff in here. My kids don't see these unless we are at a restaurant or wherever we're going to be using them. So in here I have a little pouch of these my kids love these. They're just like these like magnet people. They're just like one of those like sensory items that's like really fun to use. They just stick together. It's just one of those things that, especially if your kids don't see them for a while, it's always fun for them to like see them again and play with them, and it just tends to keep their attention. So I always have those in my restaurant bag. And I also always bring with me disposable placemats, not only for the food, but also it keeps the area in front of your kid kind of germ free, where if they do want to put their food down or whatever it is, they can. But what I also love about is these ones especially, these ones have like a little road area on them. So they're like, it's like a little map almost with roads. And then I also have with me this little pouch of little like 1-inch vehicles. So they're just like these teeny little cars and trucks. My son absolutely loves them. And actually my 8-year-old likes to play with them too. But they're so much fun for them, and it just gives them so much activity to do. Now, I will tell you, with these ones in particular, the sticky back, because they stick to the table, but these ones, for whatever reason, they're a little bit too sticky. I'm so glad that we tried them at home first, because we had to like get the stick off of the table with like a razor. It was not coming off. So there is no way that I would stick these to a restaurant table. So I actually bring a little thing of tape with us so that I can tape them down to the table. If your kid isn't too interested in like the vehicles or the driving map, they do make other placemats that I have used in the past that don't have that much of a sticky back. It's just like, it just sticks down and it comes right off. So I will link those down below as well. But if your kid is like mine and they absolutely go crazy for any type of vehicle and roads, I will also link this, but just keep in mind that I don't recommend sticking them to the table. So what else is in my bag? And this is another item that could be used for traveling as well. It's another one of those mess-free. These ones are so cute. I love them so much. They're little like dot arts, and we have a Mickey one as well as princess set. So basically, like you can see, this one is done already. They just use these little like dot stickers, same thing as like the other foam sticker one where they stick it on. They just stick it on to fill up the color. It's almost like coloring for them, but it's mess free and it's stickers, and it's so much fun for them to have. So I just keep a couple of those in the restaurant bag with me. And then also in the restaurant bag, I always keep a Tide to Go, because you never know. It's always good to have this with you. So another thing that I always like to have with us are glow sticks. These can be used anytime that it's dark. We like to kind of like wrap them around the stroller. You know, anytime that you're going to be out, whether it's in the parks or even like out exploring the resorts, you know, anywhere you are, it's always fun for kids to have glow sticks, and we don't usually use them when we're outside of Disney. So this is something really fun for them to have. And the last trip, we actually also brought these ones. These are from Target. They were in the party section, but they're just like a little star. And these ones actually, they last a lot longer than the glow stick ones. They don't turn into a bracelet or anything like that, but we actually use these when we go on the People Mover, because my kids don't like the dark, so it kind of gives them something to have. And so we actually open it up. The first time we go on we usually go on the People Mover at least twice while we're in Magic Kingdom, but it stays lit for like the whole day, sometimes even overnight. So we can always have this in my bag, and anytime that we're on the People Mover or in a dark ride, we can take these out and the kids can have them, and they're not so bright that they would be like bothersome to anybody else. It just kind of helps make them feel a little bit calmer in the dark. So something else that I always have on me is hand sanitizer. This one is just like a little strap thing. I found this at Target. I actually looked for one on Amazon and I couldn't find it. So unfortunately I can't link it for you. But if you do happen to see one of these kinds at Target, I just love that it has the case with the strap on it. And again, I strap it right onto my stroller. Anytime we're off a ride, the hand sanitizer goes on. I'm a little bit of a germphobe, but especially at Disney. But anytime that we need it, it's right there, and you can have like a larger bottle with you at the resort. So if you need to like refill it, you can do that when you're at the resort. So another item that I really like to have with kids is this waterproof blanket. This is really great for any time that you guys just need a break. You can even put it down in a grassy area. It's completely waterproof and it's actually a really decent size. So, I mean, look how big that is. It's a really decent size. So you can even put this down on the curb if you're going to be getting ready to watch the parade, or if you want to sit down somewhere while you're waiting for the fireworks, or if it rains and you want to sit down on a park bench or even on a ride that's outside that got wet from the rain and it's running again. Just don't forget to pick it back up when you're done. But it's a really great option to have anytime that it's wet or you don't want to get dirty sitting on the ground. If you're going to have a picnic, I keep this in my car. Anytime that we're going to a park or something, I just throw it in my bag, and it's so easy to just sit down on the grass with it, and you won't get dirty or wet. So let's talk about sunscreen for a minute. So everybody knows that when you go to Disney World, you're gonna want sunscreen. But if you're a parent, you know that sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get your kids to put sunscreen on. So what I do is I use, for most of their body, I will use a spray just because I find the creams to be so annoying to put on. I really, really like using this powder sunscreen. It's mainly for your face, but it is so much easier not only to put on the kids, but then you don't get that like greasy, sticky feeling on your face. That is something that I can't stand. So this has been honestly a lifesaver for me, for myself and for the kids. My husband also loves putting it on too. It's just so much easier than a cream or a spray, like I said. They do make a kids version, which is a little bit more, oh no, actually, it's the same SPF. They're both 30, which I thought this was 50, but they're both 30. So I'm actually glad that I saw that, because I prefer to use this one because they sell just the little cartridge that has a refill in it. For some reason, they don't with the kids one. So I've just been using this one for everybody. And that way we just use the refill kit. I think the only reason why the kids one is a kids one is because it's a little bit of a bigger brush and it's purple. I mean, that's like the only thing that is different about it. So I just stick with this one because we can use the reusable cartridge. The thing about this is that you do need to reapply it a little bit more often than you would with like a cream or a spray. We reapply it like, maybe like once an hour, but it's really small and compact and can easily fit in your pocket or in your little bag that you bring with you, whether you're waiting in line for a ride, or if you just don't have, if you have a stroller and you just don't have the stroller with you, it's good to just keep this on you. That way, you're waiting in line for something, just do a quick, reapply. It's so easy. And then on the other sunscreen that I really like is this scalp and hair mist. My kids don't like wearing hats, especially when it's really hot. It just makes them sweat so much, and I feel the same way. So this, you just spray it on the top of your head and it protects your scalp, especially if you have lighter color hair. It's a really good idea to do that. You don't want to have your scalp get sunburned. I've been there. It is not fun. So just using this to spray, especially on your kids, that's another really great option to have. Next up is just talking a little bit about different food items that you might want to bring with you. Obviously, you're going to want to have to bring water for your kids, for yourself, and you're definitely going to want to bring stainless steel water bottles. This is just an example. This is a Thermos brand. They have all different types of ones. My daughter has I think Wish and Elsa and Anna, Minnie. They have a whole bunch of different cute little Disney characters for these. You're definitely going to want stainless steel as opposed to plastic, just because it's going to keep the water so nice and cold. It does make it a little bit heavier, but you're going to be thankful that your kids' water will stay nice and cold. Now, another thing are to bring little snack containers with you. It's a good idea to have a grocery delivery of your kids' favorite snacks, not only because it's super expensive to try to buy everything in the parks, you know, any type of little snack, it can really add up, but also because sometimes your kids just might want goldfish or crackers or, you know, their favorite comfort snack that they're used to having at home that they're not going to sell in the parks. So it's a really good idea to get you can get a Kroger delivery, or you can go stop at Target. You know, a lot of these private transportations will actually stop at these places, or you can get it delivered, but it definitely makes it a lot more convenient to get those snack items. And I really like these snack containers. These are by Whiskware. Again, a whole bunch of different characters. Obviously my son likes Lightning McQueen, but they have Disney Princess, Mickey and Minnie, all different types of cute little Disney characters on these. And what I really like about these is that obviously we have the 3 different cups that they come with, and they all come off, but they also separate from each other with the lids on, which is really convenient. But I love how they all stack together and form a nice thin little pack here that you can easily stick in a bag, and you're not rummaging around your bag searching for a little container of each item. They're all stacked up really nicely right here. So I really like these little containers. What I also like to bring are these collapsible bowls. They snap right off the top and then they pop out. And these really come in handy with younger kids. If you're wanting to share some food, like maybe you get one meal between your kids and then you can put some in a bowl, or even if you wanted to have your kid share a Dole Whip or something, and you can scoop some of the Dole Whip into the bowl just to make it a little bit less messy. A nice big bowl like this without a huge thing of Dole Whip sticking out of it could be a lot less messy for your kid. So these are great. And then when they're done with it, if you have any leftovers, you can keep them in here and put the top back on, or if you're all done, you just close it back up and snap the lid on, and it's again a nice thin little cup that you just stick in your bag. Hardly takes up any room. I really enjoyed having this with us. So if you have older kids, I highly suggest getting some type of smartwatch. This is a TikTok. It doesn't connect to my cell phone. It's not with my cell phone carrier. It's its own thing. But this one in particular, it is really great because it's a way to communicate with my daughter if we get separated. Obviously you're going to want to make sure your kids know what to do if they get separated from you. Even if they have one of these, it's always a good idea to let them know that they should always find a cast member. Cast members are everywhere. They're at the rides, they're in stores, at restaurants. So if you tell them, if you can't find me, go to the nearest cast member, whether that's at a ride, the closest thing that you see. If it's a ride, if it's a store, if it's a restaurant, go there and find a cast member and they can help you. But if you have an older kid, having one of these is really great because they can communicate with you, and it also has a GPS tracker. So I don't know if it can pinpoint like the exact location, but you can look on the app on your phone and you can say, oh, they're in Fantasyland, like I know where they are. Then you can communicate with them, tell them to stay where they are, and you will come to them. But I mean, this is obviously great to have outside of Disney World too. If you feel that your kid isn't ready for a smartphone, or you don't want to give them a phone quite yet, this is a really great thing because it doesn't have the internet. It doesn't even have games on it. It's just for communication with you and anybody else that you can put on there for them to contact. It's a really great item to have. My daughter wears it anytime she's not with me. It's really great for school kids because it's not going to distract them, with the internet or games, and it's not a phone. So, and it's something that will stay on them. Even if they have a phone can get left behind. It can run out of battery easily. This stays charged for quite a long time. So I just find something like this is better than having a phone, unless your kid is like way older and, you feel comfortable with them having a phone. But if you're on the fence about whether you want to give your kid a phone, something like this is a really, really great alternative. It gives you a peace of mind to know that you can contact your kid, or they can contact you if for whatever reason something goes wrong, or you just want to communicate with them. Sometimes I like to just say I love you to my daughter, make her feel more comfortable. But it's just a great little gizmo to have. So it's another thing to bring with you to Disney World to give you a little bit of peace of mind. And honestly, it gives my daughter a little bit of peace of mind to know that if she does get separated from me, she has a way to contact me. For younger kids, it's a good idea to have younger kids either contained in the stroller, or they have those backpack leashes, or those little like bungees that you can hook to your stroller that they can hold on to. Disney World gets crowded, kids get distracted, so it's a good idea to have in place something that you teach your child. Go on a few walks before you go and get your kid used to, okay, if you're not in the stroller, you need to be next to me, either holding on to something on the stroller, or you have a leash backpack for them. I mean, a leash backpack, if you're gonna do that at some place, Disney World is the place to do that. No one is going to judge you there. That is a place to do that. So if that's something that you would make you feel a little bit more comfortable with, that is always an option to do as well. Okay, so that is it for this video. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, because my next video coming up is for those of you that have strollers, and I'm going to show all the gear that I put onto the stroller to make your life so much easier. So like this video and subscribe, and until next time.